Xtracycle bikes are not difficult to assemble at home. With a few standard tools and a buddy to help with some light lifting, you should be ready to ride in no time at all. You will need a set of metric Allen keys, wrenches, socket tools, and bike grease. Follow along with our full assembly manual at Xtracycle.com. Open your Xtracycle box and remove the small parts box, center kickstand, and seat. With a friend, lift the bike out of the box and set it on your work surface. Remove the zip ties holding the front wheel to the frame and set it aside. The first thing you'll need to do is charge your battery. Locate the battery keys secured to the handlebars. Unlock your battery and remove it by rotating it away from the bike. You'll find your battery charger and domestic power cable in the small parts box. Locate the charging port, pull back the rubber cover, and plug in the charging cable. Make sure the charge indicator lights begin to blink green. Next, we'll move to install your kickback center kickstand. Remove the packaging and locate the included hardware kit, consisting of 2 U-bolts, a rectangular mounting plate, 4 M6 washers and nuts, and an M5 set screw. Under your bike, find the kickstand mounting shelf and the threaded set screw hole. Rest the back of the kickstand mounting plate on the mounting shelf and thread the set screw with a 3mm Allen to hold the kickstand in place. Install the first U-bolt on the drive side of the bike. Fit an M6 washer and nut onto the forward threads until just finger tight. Then, carefully deploy the kickstand to give you access to the rear threads. Place another washer and nut and secure both nuts with a 10mm socket tool, being mindful to tighten each end of the U-bolt evenly. Place the second U-bolt and position the mounting plate in place. Secure it with an M6 washer and nut. And tighten everything with the 10mm socket tool. Next, we'll install the front fender, wheel, and light. Begin by removing the packaging around the fork and front wheel. From the small parts box, locate the following hardware: L bracket, M6 by 50mm bolt, M6 washer, M6 nut, and 2 M5 bolts. Remove the through axle with a 6mm Allen and insert the M6 by 50mm bolt in the upper fork hole. Bring the front fender into position by hanging the mounting tab from the M6 by 50mm bolt and holding it in place with the L bracket and M6 washer and nut. We will tighten this in a moment. Attach the outer support arms of the fender to the lower fork mounting points with the 2 M5 bolts using a 4mm Allen. Remove the packaging from the front wheel. Remove the disc brake pad spacer and rotate your front wheel into position. Be careful that the disc brake rotor sits neatly between the brake pads. Reinsert your through axle and tighten with a 6mm Allen. Returning to the fender, tighten the upper bolt with a 4mm Allen and an 8mm wrench. Slide the nut into the slot on the front of the mounting arm of the headlight. Place the flat washer over the M6 bolt and insert the bolt through the light mounting tab on the fender. Then place the spider washer on the bolt and begin threading the bolt into the nut through the mounting arm. Use a 5mm Allen to finish tightening the bolt until the light is secure. Connect your fender headlight leads, black to black, red to black with gray stripe. Connect the leads at the top of the fork by matching black to black and red to red. Next, use a 4mm Allen to loosen the 2 bolts holding your handlebar stem in place. Remove the rubber plug on your top cap and use a 5mm Allen to remove the bolt and top cap. Remove the spacers and handlebar stem. Restack the 4 spacers and stem so the stem is in the top position. Replace the top cap and bolt and tighten with the 5mm Allen. Replace the rubber plug. Align your handlebars with your front wheel and use a 4mm Allen to retighten the 2 bolts on the stem. Remove the packaging from your pedal crank arms. Apply a small amount of grease to the threads of each pedal marked left and right. With the right pedal, start threading the pedal bolt into the crank arm. Once initially threaded, you can backpedal while holding the pedal bolt in place. The left pedal has a reverse thread, so you will need to turn the pedal bolt counterclockwise to tighten it. Use a 15mm wrench to tighten the pedals. Locate the hardware in the small parts box: eye bolt, flange nut, stabilizer spring, and spring sleeve. Fully thread the eye bolt through the flange nut. Remove the packaging on the down tube. Then thread the bolt through the threaded boss on the down tube. Tighten with an 8mm wrench, adjusting the eye bolt so it is aligned perpendicular to the bike. Hook the stabilizer spring to the L bracket on the fork, and then use an Allen key to pull the other end to the eye bolt. Push up on the spring to fully seat the spring. Slide the spring sleeve over the spring. Moving to the rear of the bike, unhook the open-ended tensioners on the freeloader 2 straps and remove the U-tubes. Remove the end caps from the U-tube mounting ports. Depressing the U-tube spring pins, insert the shorter arm into the forward port and the longer arm into the rear. Push them in until the pins pop out. Repeat for the other side. Secure the freeloader 2 bags by fastening the remaining straps to the lower frame. Remove any remaining packaging. Apply a modest amount of grease to the inside of the seat tube. Then, lower your seat post and saddle into your desired position and tighten with a 5mm Allen. Replace your battery by rotating it back into place from the front of the bike until it clicks into place. Use a 4mm Allen to loosen the faceplate on the front of your stem and center the positioning target. Then, retighten the faceplate. Use a 3mm Allen to loosen and position the paddle grips so they are level with the ground. Then retighten. Use the provided Shimano lead connector tool from the small parts box to insert the display cable into the small port under the display. You should feel a securing click when the connection is made. Wrap the cable protecting covers over the headlight wires. Congratulations, you are now ready to ride.